Welcome to this courseware webinar where we will focus on the teacher gradebook. You're going to have access to a gradebook for every single course and section. Today we're going to look at a demo account where we can use Biology with Virtual Labs as our example. I'd like to point out that you can access the gradebook from outside the section, right here, or we can go inside of our section and we can also access the gradebook from inside the section. So let's click on Gradebook and take a look at all of the options that we have for us here. First of all, we're going to see a list of all of the names of our students that are active in this course. And then we're also going to see all of the different activities that are required for students to take in this particular semester. If we have any additional notes and participation or additional activities that we have scheduled to happen, they will be here at the end where it says optional activities. Before we go into detail, over here on the upper left is going to be a status legend. So if you are wondering what the pink box stands for, the circle versus the slash, we know that we can use this key up here to make sure that we understand which ones are which. Anything with a slash means that we omitted it in our curriculum settings. That was another webinar that had information for us on how to omit activities. If I drop a particular score as the teacher, I have that ability in my gradebook. So let's take an example. If I wanted to drop this 80% on this unit activity, for whatever reason, I can take this box and it's going to give me the option to drop score. It then turns pink. I can see if I have altered a grade from whatever they earned by doing it with their first time around. If I would like to alter a grade, I can click on a score, I can change the grade, I can click out of it, and now it has changed to a different score, and it's going to tell me that with an altered score. It says score has been edited by the instructor and is reflected in the student curriculum details. Okay, so now we can see if we have altered any scores, if we have dropped any scores, if we have omitted any activities, which means they are not going to be affected by the gradebook with a 0 or 100%, it means this will not be calculated in the student's end grade. If the student took a pretest and received 100% in specific areas that they did not have to actually work on, they're going to get an exempt, the little E, and it turns into 100% equivalent. You also had that option in the student settings for their individual curriculum, where you could give them an exempt. So let's say, for example, if you were working on an activity with them and they got 100% or they earned 100%, you can make it an exempt in the curriculum settings, and that will show up here. If they received 100%, for example, if you were working on a discussion organ systems topic together, and the student did not type it into the discussion question in Courseware, but you had a discussion with them outside of the system, you then have the ability to come in here and give them a grade of whatever it is you feel they earned for that one-on-one discussion question that you had orally. If there were any activities that you hid and the student never saw them, but you were going to do the activity together, such as, let us say, this unit activity on cells, the teacher made the decision to say, we're not going to do the activity in Courseware, but yet I'm going to model that activity on my own and demonstrate it to you as a group. I'm going to have you do a different activity where you write about it, turn it into me, so on and so forth. So we created, basically, the teacher created a different activity. If the teacher hid that activity in the curriculum settings, the teacher is still responsible for coming into this gradebook and populating scores for all of the students. If they do not populate scores, it's going to come as a 0. Because anything at the end of the semester that is not populated, does not have a slash, does not have an exempt, does not have a drop score, is going to equate to a 0. So make sure that you understand that you need to make sure that every single thing is populated, except for a pretest. Anything with the gray bar, that is not required. Pretests are not required because those are not scored. Okay. Up here, I'd like to go into a little bit more detail. You have a reports section where you have the ability to please explore some of these grades or these reports that are available to you. You can look at a gradebook report card if you like to work in Excel. If you'd like to work in Excel, you have the ability to take your class and view everything that is available to you. It's just taking it into Excel. Another favorite report is taking the gradebook report card into a PDF. This is often requested sometimes by parents. Sometimes it is requested at the end of the semester when you need to turn it into the registrar, or a counselor might ask if a student ever finished a particular course. This is often a report that we are asked to find if a student finished a particular course. So this is one that we can see every single thing that is requested of them, if it's weighted, and what their current percent is. So this is something that you could easily mail home during maybe parent conferences or mid-semester check-ins. This is a nice, clean report that you can send to parents. So again, in reports, that top report is probably one that I really highly recommend. But please check out the other reports. That's going to give you reports for your entire class. Over here, you're going to get reports on these ellipses for just that particular student. So again, that report that I was just showing you, if you want it for only that particular student, this is where you will get it for just that student. If there's another report that you're looking for, the gradebook export, if you are ready to approve credit, if your school gives credit, student curriculum details, this is also where we are going to see if the teacher changed any activities. It's going to take us back to your teacher portal and dive in a little bit deeper. So again, the gradebook, lots of information, lots of responsibility, but also a lot of power to change, edit, make sure that everything is filled in by the end of the semester. Make sure that you understand the legend, the reports, and then the individual reports that are over here. These are for the group, and these are for the individual. Your gradebook is not only available here inside of the course, but you may also find your gradebook outside of the course. Thank you for watching this very short video on the gradebook.